Hi there, this is Niki Rowland for Shimmerz Paints, and I'm making a layout today using 3 colours of Inklingz and Creameez and this beautiful exclusive cut file by Paige Evans. It's part of our colour kit for this month, for September, so I'm just using different colours, but I'm using the cut file because it's gorgeous. So I'm starting off here. I've got a sheet of marshmallow cardstock and I'm just applying the packaging technique to the background to apply 3 colours of shimmer. So I've gone for 2 pink colours. They are both Inklingz. One is called a Rose by Any Other Name, and the other one, the lighter one, is called Pink Abu. I am also using the deep navy Witch's Blue, which is a Creameez. So I will list these below. But you can see what I'm doing. I'm using the packaging technique, adding water. I'm allowing the colours to mix a little bit on the background, and I'm just making this large area of watercolour in the centre of my layout, or the centre of this background sheet anyway. So you can see there that I'm now coming in with the deep blue. I'm thinking that I'm going to use that photo there. It was of my little baby boy, I was thinking that I was going to use that photo, but actually in the end I end up using something completely different. So my background there is looking pretty good, so I'm just going to go back through now and add in some paint splatters. So I'm using the same 3 colours and I'm going over the same areas of colour with the same colour. So I'm using Pinkaboo over the Pinkaboo area, and I'm using a rose over the rose areas and the blue one over the blue. Okay, so I know it's pretty self-explanatory, but that's what I'm planning to do. So okay, so this is now dry. So it's a few hours later and it's completely dry, now I'm going to come in with the cut file. So I've come up with this beautiful cut file by Paige Evans, and I've cut it out of a really dark blue paper. It's a Vicky Boutin Wildflower and Honey. And it's the B side, so the A side is one with little tiny hexagons all over it. It's really cute, but the other side is this really deep, rich blue. So I've cut it out of that. Now, if you've examined the cut file closely, you will notice that the ampersand is a thin line, whereas mine is a solid outline. And that's because I did some editing of the cut file before I cut it. So I have released the compound path and I have removed the large bits and made it a thick ampersand sign too. So I have got my background here and I'm just going to add some stamping in between. So I'm using a script stamp and I'm just stamping it randomly. I just wanted to add a bit of texture. It doesn't matter what the script says or where it is really. I just wanted to add just that little bit of extra black texture behind the ampersand. So it's going to cover up a lot of the watercolour that I have done, but that's okay because that's the point of mixed media backgrounds. You know, we only need a small amount showing behind whatever it is that we're building on top of it. So you can see I switched out my photo. I decided to go for this photo of me and my little baby because there were 2 of us in the photo. So the ampersand sign to me meant that I needed to have an extra person in my photo because we are together. You know, we are me and him, that's what I thought I'd go for there. So that's why I switched out the photo. And this photo is great because he's got a blue t-shirt on too, and obviously there's lots of blue going on in this layer. So you can see that I'm just fiddling around, arranging my bits and pieces. I've been through some of my stash and worked out or pulled out all the blue pieces and pink pieces of ephemera, matching my ephemera to the colours of my background watercolour that I made. I've just backed that frame, had a little black and white frame there by Pretty Little Studio. I've just backed that in the same blue that I mounted the background on, so I have a different lighter shade of blue pattern paper going around the edge of my layout, and I've used the same paper behind that Pretty Little Studio frame. I'm now just getting my cut file stuck in place. So I'm just putting foam. You saw me put a few runs of tape runner underneath the main cluster, and then I'm just going through and adding foam pads under some of the other areas as well, just because I wanted it to have some dimension, but the whole thing didn't really need to be raised up. So I've just stuck the middle bit flat and then raised up around the edges. So now I'm just getting everything stuck in place because I'm kind of happy with all the arrangement of everything that I've got going on there. You'll see that I've pulled through a couple of dots dots. So these are a product from the Shimmerz store, and they come in sets of 3 or 6, and they're cute little dots, like epoxy dots, with different patterns inside them, or sayings. So the blue, really deep blue one, is to the left of my photo. That's from one set, and then the other one is like a script font. There's like a set of 3, I think, and it's that one says "Love You." So that's ideal for this layout. So I'm just still trying to work out what bits and pieces I can use. I've obviously poured through that little birdhouse, and it has green on the roof, so therefore that's an extra colour that really I need to incorporate into this layout. I've got some green on the leaves, and I've pulled through another leaf as well, and put that in. Now I'm also bringing in some of this plum colour, purpley colour that's in the Paige Evans Truly Grateful collection. So I've got a label sticker under my photo, and there's some more of it in the butterfly wings. Yeah, it's all kind of coming together. It feels like it all works well, even though I brought in more colours than I was hoping to bring in. So I now thought, because I've added some green, I could also add some more green by because it wasn't really enough, by fussy cutting out some leaves and sprays of flowers or leaves from this paper. So it's actually the middle of the paper that I made the frame with. So the frame that goes around the edge of my layout, I have gutted the middle of it so that I can use the middle section of the paper rather than waste it. That section was from there. So you saw me back that frame with a little bit of that paper, and this is the rest of that paper. So I'm literally just fussy cutting out a whole ton of leaves and branches and sprays of leaves. Some are green, some are blue, but they all have they're all on a green background, so therefore the green comes through no matter what colour the flowers are that I'm cutting out. So that was a good way to bring in a bit more green. The green goes really well with the blue, obviously, but there was no green in my background, my watercolour background, so I was just a bit conscious of not bringing in too many more colours. I didn't want it to look like a bit of a mishmash, really. So yeah, I was just being careful there. But the green is actually a really good decision, because blue and green goes so beautifully together. So yeah, it's coming on nicely. I'm really pleased with how it's looking. I'm just coming in to add a few more bits and pieces around the edges now. So I've pulled out these Pretty Little Studio clear stickers. I really like these types of stickers because they remind me of rub-ons, but you don't actually have to rub them on. So that's always a good thing in my book, because the amount of rub-ons that have gone wrong in my life. So I've just found some enamel dots, enamel shapes, and also some puffy ones from the Paige Evans thickers, puffy phrase thickers. They've got loads of little shapes on too. And I've also found this word. It's a wood veneer word. It says loved. So I've just stuck that onto my layout with some glossy accents, and I've put my tape gun on top of it to hold it in place for a few moments. And whilst that's just drying a little bit, I'm putting on some words onto my photo. They say wave away. So the story on this photo is my little baby boy loves to wave at anyone and anything, and we were on our way on holiday in a taxi, and he is waving the whole way as the car was moving. It was very cute. It was very funny. So I took this photo of him. Anyway, so that's why my words say waved away, and you can see there I'm just painting that word loved. It's a wood veneer word, and I'm painting it with that nice deep blue Creameez, which is blue, and I'm just adding some final paint splatters there because I've covered up a lot of them and I wanted to extend my background out a little bit. So yeah, just added in some paint splatters. You can see what I did. I used it on the packaging, and just added a bit of water so that I had a flickable paint. And now I'm just handwriting in my journaling, and that is me done. Oh, actually no, I'm totally not done. I'm going in now to add some white shines to the ampersand. So I don't know the word for that. What is the word that I'm looking for that. I don't know, reflections maybe. Just wanted it kind of to make it look a little bit more 3D. So that's what I've done there with the white pen, and that is me complete. So I hope you enjoyed that layout. I really enjoyed making it. Thank you so much for joining me today. Don't forget that if you place an order via the Shimmerz store, put my name in the comments for a freebie. Happy days. Thanks very much. That was Niki Rowland for Shimmerz Paints.